We all heard about the intended yacht that was to be bought for the president of Nigeria that was worth 5 billion US dollars. That's really a whole lot of money. And trust me, Nigerians would not let this particular one slide as they came out in their numbers on social media throwing tantrums to the government and calling them biased and Basar and a lot of names, trust me. So after all the whole drama recently, the House of Reps have finally scrapped the 5 billion US dollars presidential yacht. They didn't just stop there, they now moved the allocation to student loan. So students, you're free to get a loan to finish your education, you're free to get a loan probably. Let's just see how that goes at the end of the news. Now, following public outcry over the allocation of 5.095 billion naira for the purchase of a presidential yacht in 2023 supplementary budget, the House of Representatives on Thursday said it had scrapped the budgetary allocation. For those of you who have no idea of what yacht is, it's a huge boat. Kind of, I could call it a house on the sea. It's literally very furnished in a very expensive and lucrative taste. And trust me, it's something you want to try that if you're rich. But if you're people like probably me, you will actually go for the boat. Yes. So the chairman of the House of Appropriation Committee, Abubakar Bichi, disclosed this in an interview with journalists on Thursday. He said that the budgetary allocation for students' loan was to be increased from 5 billion to 10 billion. He further said that the committee also increased the budgetary allocation of Ministry of Defense from 476 billion naira to 546 billion. Okay. Anna Avicii also disclosed that the minimum wage for workers was considered and approved for onward transmission to the executive. Now, he, however, promised proper legislative oversight to ensure 100% implementation. Now, let's talk about this yacht budget. Now, in the supplementary budget sent to the Federal Assembly by the President, the federal government has allocated 5 billion naira to purchase a presidential yacht. Now, the proposed sum was under the capital expenditure of the Nigerian Navy's budget. Now, according to the breakdown, the Navy will require 62.8 billion naira for its operations, with recruitment expenditures and capital expenditure gulping up to 20.4 billion and 42.3 billion respectively. Now, Bobici said that 5 billion naira for the presidential yacht has been yanked off the budget. Interesting. And he said, actually, we have submitted our reports to the House, and after careful consideration, the House has approved our submission, and the breakdown is as follows. As you know, the budget is about 2.1 trillion, and the Ministry of Defense has about 456 billion naira. But currently, the Ministry of Defense has the largest share because we know how important our security is. Were you not thinking about security before putting a 5 billion naira? Oh, okay, 5 billion naira for a yacht. What were you thinking about? Security of the water or what? You were supposed to be thinking about security of the people, right? But you want to. Okay. Yes, let's go on. Now has the largest because we should know that our security is important. Now, as you are aware, we had interactions with them yesterday, and currently we have increased their budget from 456 billion to 546 billion 209 million 99,671 billion naira. That's very good. Now, for police formation and command, we gave about 50 billion naira, while the FCT has about 100 billion naira. You know, FCT is very important to us, so we want to make sure that FCT can compete with any state in the world. That is why we gave them 100 billion naira. What a flimsy excuse! There are other countries who have states that are doing a whole lot better, and they don't even give them this kind of outrageous budget. What are they supposed to do? Build roads, bridges, airplanes to fly, but flying trains or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure, but yes. On the Office of the National Security, a lot has been actually budgeted for them. But I'm actually hoping that their budget would be something larger. But so far so good. We've had to see a lot, and in the Office of National Security, the initial budget was about 27 billion naira, but currently we have increased it to 50 billion naira. So I should be clapping because it just increased my security from 27 billion to 50 billion. Okay, that's good. Now for the State House, the initial budget was 28 billion naira, and we maintained that. Okay, that's good. You guys maintain that. Now, on Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, you know how important that ministry is. We maintained their initial figure of 200 billion naira as well. For the Ministry of Housing, you know we have a serious housing deficit in the country, and Mr. President's agenda, he wants to build as much as he can. So we have approved 100 billion naira for housing. 100 billion naira. Okay, service-wide votes initially was about 615 naira, but currently we reduced it to 515 billion naira. Now, for the Independent National Electoral Commission's budget, I said for INEC, initially their budget was about 18 billion naira. And yesterday we had an interaction with the INEC chairman, and he convinced us with his submission, and we maintained their 18 billion naira. INEC, the same INEC where, but okay, we're not here to throw tantrums at any part of anything, but let's not analyze it bit by bit of how much this particular money was put into a yacht, something you would literally drive and see. I tell people, you do not put your money where you do not get benefits. What is that? What is the benefit of the yacht to us Nigerians? What do we make out of it? What importance is it to us? What financial importance is it to us? Or is it just when our president feels like going on a vacation, he hops into his yacht and off he goes? Things are not done that way. And Nigerians got to react definitely because we know how to react. So for one particular man, they won't come go buy yacht. Therefore, try and now for burner for the sea, them no saying we dey vex as Nigerians. Typical Nigerian man has told you his mind. They go burner. Okay, moving up ahead. Why would you make such outrageous budget for just a yacht that you and I know still has to be fueled? Or please, does it use water to run on sea? I have no idea about how those things are run, my girl. But I just hope it's a miracle that it runs with fuel or water. Probably you'll just build from the sea and then pour it inside, and then it gets to the pilot to now tell you we're ready to drive. Okay, so when I first saw this whole 5 billion naira for a yacht, I first of all wanted to regret voting for the president, but the second time I just had to let my guards down at the stretch. You don't have to be that way right now. You obviously know the reason you voted for him. But anyway, let's just keep clapping for you. What do you think? What's your take on the whole yacht matter? Do you think our president is right to ever have this whole thing included in a budget? Or do you think he's actually working for his own personal benefits rather than the benefits of Nigerians? Do well to drop your ideas, your comments, whatever you want us to do in the next video in the comment section. Do well to like.